Good afternoon, everyone. 76 participants I can see on Zoom. My name is Ipei Tsuruga. I'm Social Protection Program Manager of the ILO Country Office for Indonesia. And I'm really glad to welcome you all today to the ILO Jakarta Office Social Protection Lectures. We call it Social Protection Lecture Series, which is the lecture series and our new initiatives hosted by the Social Protection Program at the ILO Jakarta office and financially supported by the government of Japan and the fast retailing. The social protection lectures primarily provide experts who work on social protection issues and corresponding, policy areas in Indonesia with a unique opportunity to hear from national or international scholars and practitioners. Our topic today is public employment services and unemployment benefit schemes through digital channels in Asia. We explore the underlying challenges of traditional delivery mechanisms for public employment services and unemployment benefits, and the potential of digital channels to deliver these, to address these challenges. Sorry. And wait a moment, I have a problem with a chat box. Yeah. So speaker today will discuss what challenges the traditional mechanisms impose on job seekers and how Asian countries use digital channels to overcome these challenges and for an effective and integrated delivery mechanism of public employment services and unemployment benefit related operations. And that can be a registration for placement services and job matching services, benefit claims, mandatory monthly meetings, and referral to reskilling or trainings, and so on. Several different attached services should be well integrated into the social unemployment benefits system as a whole. So today we have Dr. Sang-Yeon Lee, and you see on the screen, and welcome Sang-Yeon. And Sang-Yeon is currently a research fellow of Employment Service Innovation Division, if I'm calling correctly. And the Korea, he is based in the Korea Employment Information Services, known as a KEIS. Since 1998, he has been conducting research projects and implementing technical cooperation projects in not only Korea, but also Vienna, Malaysia, Cambodia, Namibia, Brazil, and Peru. Brazil, Peru, and Chile, sorry. And his previous works, of course, include the introduction of online claim, UI claim system, and performance evaluation of PES operations. So I stop here. Welcome Sang-Yeon to this, actually the second lecture of this series today, and floor is yours.
Thank you, Ipei. Change my screen. First of all, I congratulate that Indonesia introduced UI scam. The introduction of UI scam will be very beneficial for the growth of the economy of Indonesia, as well as the strengthening the social protection. Today, I deliver the lecture on the UI system and public employment services through the online channel. This is very important to conjugate this system through the online, and you can develop a lot of cost-effective system through this way. You don't need big and many huge people and many institutions to develop throughout the country to deliver the services and UI's benefit claim. So today is a very important lecture. I'll try to do my best how the all around the world is trying to deliver these UI services. And UI is not the only solution, always packaged with public improvement services. So I would like to explain why it should be a one package system. Okay, just a second. Good. You can see this red graph here. This is unemployment rate. So you can see the unemployment rate from 1960. It's going down. Yes.
I don't see the screen.
You don't see the screen? Just a second. I didn't share the screen, sorry. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So then again. Okay. I'll change my pen. All right. Ready. Okay, now you can see that, right? This red graph here is unemployment rate. So since 1960, with the economic development, unemployment rate around 8% here is rapidly down. And there is some event here. Unemployment rate goes up because of the oil shock here in 1970. Since then, the unemployment rate just goes down and almost around 2%, which is full employment condition. But there's a big event. Everybody knows that in 1997, there was a Asian monetary crisis. It starts from Thailand baht and hits Indonesia and Taiwan, and it ended in Korea. Because of this Asian monetary crisis, you can see this blue graph down here. This is a GDP per capita. GDP per capita in Korea grows very fast with economic development, but there was a hit by the Asian monetary crisis from around $13,000. And with the hit from the Asian monetary crisis, Korea lost around $5,000 of GDP per capita. It's a huge impact in Korean economy. As you can see, the red graph, the unemployment hike up above 7%. Okay. Think about before the Asian monetary crisis, it was full employment around 2% for more than a decade. And then with the Asian monetary crisis, unemployment rate goes up to more than 70%. So I always said there are two Korea, before Asian monetary crisis and after the monetary crisis. This Asian monetary crisis was really big impact in Korean economy and Korean culture and also Korean labor market. And when it gives us a chance to develop helping employment services. This is a very important message, okay? With the financial crisis hit Korea, as you can see in this picture, this is a job fair in Seoul in 1999, February. It hit 8.7% unemployment rate. In the job fair in Korea, there were hundred thousands of people lined up here. Because I clearly remember that I was kind of lined up here and so applied for the new job for me. And it's a really big event in Korea. All the Korean was suffered by this record high unemployment rate. Okay. It changed almost all Korean society. For Korean people, for the decades, there was no unemployment rate. So we call just like lifetime employment in that situation, in that time, in that era, which means you hired by one company and you retired that company. You work for your lifetime in the company, you started without changing the company. That was lifetime company we call, and which means you don't need to change the job in the labor market, okay? That was the situation in Korea. But on the Asian monetary crisis in Korea, so all of a sudden, a lot of people are losing a job. More than millions of people lose a job. One day, a big automatic company like Daewoo closed down, and there were 100,000 unemployed people on the street, and they could not go anywhere. They could not tell the family that they lost the job because it's a humiliation. So most of people are, if they hired in a company, they retired in the company. In that culture, losing a job means that you really have some problem. So they could not go to tell their wife and kids that I lost the job because it is so humiliating. So that they, as you can see in this picture, the unemployed people could not tell the truth. So they could not go to company. Since instead they go to the park and spending whole day in the park and come back home. And they're wearing this this formal dress so that they act like they go to the company, but actually they are unemployed. There is no place to go, so they get at the park. And then there are so many beautiful mountains in Seoul and in Korea. Korea is basically mountain country. So at the weekend, you can see millions of people in Seoul go to the near mountain. So after they visited the park, there is no place to go. And then they choose to go to mountain. If you go to high mountain, you release your stress from unemployed. It's really good. So people are gathering in the mountain. So as you can see in this newspaper, National Park Service allowed unemployed enter the 18 National Mountain Park for free. Okay, and as you can see in this picture, the local government put the board for job seekers. So people actually they are coming to the mountain at the same time they are searching for the job. Okay, to apply for the job. It's really funny, and it's kind of a very unrealistic pictures that at that time there was no employment services there, so that there is no chance for people to go there. After all, after they went to the park and they went to the mountain, and then they rush into the library. Now they regain the power, stressed out from mountain, and they have energy to study more. okay, let's change the job. Well, then we need to skill up. So they went to the library. There is not much training program for the unemployed. Now they went to the library to study more so that they can change their job. And you can see this newspaper that library become hot place for the unemployed. Now, time passed. They could not tell lie anymore. So because there was no income from the company, they unemployed. At the first time, they went to the park for a month, and the next time they went to the mountain, and then they went to the library. Now they have nothing to do, so that they lost a family. You know, they get divorced, they have no money, they get divorced, they lost child, and then they become, as you can see, that the homeless people. They lost a house, you know, they fell into the poverty. And during the winter, you know, you can see that these unemployed people on the homeless on the street. So that, but we realized at the time, we already introduced this unemployment insurance program around 1995. So just 3 years before the Asian monetary crisis, Korea introduced unemployment insurance scam. This is very important, but we didn't, it was a good time. Our economy is growing very fast. There is no unemployment at all, full employed, but Korea decided introduce unemployment insurance scam just in case for the preparing for the rainy day. We benchmark European country. They all have very good unemployment insurance scam, and they the most of European country, as they become more and more developed, there's more and more long-term unemployed people's problems. So Korea also, we need to prepare like the next 10 years. We didn't know that the crisis come only in 3 years. But anyway, well, we prepared, and there was an unemployed insurance fund, money stock without spending. So it was likely 550 billion US dollar was in there. So so that we can use this fund to challenge the unemployment insurance benefit. Okay, when the crisis happened, the company closed down, and no one knows there was unemployment insurance benefit. You know, unemployment insurance benefits start only if the unemployed claim. Okay, so, and then government didn't know how to use. We only collected the money. We never used the money because they were full employed. The money was stopped. Now we put it on the TV promotion. There is an unemployment insurance benefit. Everybody comes to the labor office. Please take your unemployment insurance benefit. So around all of thousands of people, millions of people are now rush into the labor office to claim the unemployment insurance benefit. You can see the labor office, you know, in 1998, there were a lady, even without the computer. This lady has computer and talked with unemployed people on about claiming the unemployment insurance benefit. There's only 2 ladies in the front office, and in the back office, there are another labor officers. They are in a different businesses. And now, as you can see, people are crowding into the job center, right? And so millions of people are crowded into the job center, but we only have like 80 people, 80 staff to on unemployment insurance benefit at that time. So there were a lot of people, officers taking this claim, and there was not a computer program developed fully. As you can see, this gentleman, unemployed person, having a paper to claim the benefit. So taking up this paper claim, and then they proceeded at night. And so that these officers do a lot of overwork, and they start to fall down because there's too much work. Some of the people, work for 7 days and go home like 12 o'clock. So some of the people start to die. That's a true story. So that we hire at that 1996 around 3,000 steps at the labor office. And then we create job center for the first time. Before 1998, there was no job center at all. Labor offices was the place that deliver all the labor inspection, labor law, or industrial security, safety. At the same time, they have unemployment insurance and job placement service. There were only 80 steps. With this event of unemployment insurance, claim is rushing to the job center. There was 1 million people coming in. So there is no way we need to increase the steps. So we increased the step at the job center around 3,000 people, and then established the case as the main organization for research on employment, and introduced web-based job matching services we call WorkNet in 1998. So in a nutshell, the Asian money crisis hit Korea very hard. There was a hike up in unemployment issues, but thankfully Korea was prepared with unemployment insurance scam, and the millions of people rush into the job center after they visit the park, mountain, and the library, and then so that we create a case and increase the step at the job center and create a job center too. This is very important picture. Year 2008, we all remember there was a global economic crisis. And now, not only the Asia, all of the world hit by this global economic crisis in 2007. And as you can see, the same event happened. We were at the time around the GDP per capita was around $25,000, but we lost again $5,000 of the GDP per capita, which means we have a very similar impact with the Asian monetary crisis at the same time with the global economic crisis. But you have to look at this unemployment graph very carefully. Unemployment rate after the Asian monetary crisis, we fight with job center as well as WorkNet, as well as unemployment insurance benefit, it rapidly down, and it became a normal condition, but it was a bit 1% higher than before the Asian monetary crisis. But even though the economic crisis hit Korea, unemployment rate actually went down and didn't change much. Okay, why? Same economic impact hit Korea just like 10 years before, but the unemployment rate didn't change much because we already learned the lesson. This lesson is very important. Okay, we learned the lesson from 1999 Asian monetary crisis. We know how to fight with the challenge with unemployment issues. So we hire additional 2,000 career counselors at the job center. Now there are 5,000 career counselors, and introduce work sharing program instead of fire the people, instead of close down the company. We give the subsidy so that they can sustain with this work sharing program. So with the work sharing program, with the unemployment insurance benefit and the training program and a lot of other small subsidy program, unemployment didn't change at all. Okay, we got a lesson. This is very important lesson. You can, even though there is an economic hit, you can control, manage unemployment. And the way to fight with unemployment, job center and unemployment benefit, skill development, and this IT system to back up is very important. And now, year 2019, COVID-19 hit all over the world again. So the Korean lost almost similar GDP per capita. Now our GDP is increased $10,000 more, around $35,000. And as you know, in one of the first country who at China hit the COVID-19 was Korea. So you see the unemployment, there was a big impact in economic growth, but there was not much change in unemployment rate again. Why? Because we already been through first crisis, second crisis. Now COVID-19 is third crisis. We know how to fight, how to challenge with unemployment rate. Okay, and this is unemployment rate comparing 2019 and 2020. As you can see, there's not much changes, around the 4%, and there was not much changes. As you remember, the first hit was before first Asian monetary crisis, the unemployment rate was around 2%. Okay, and then when the global monetary crisis hit Korea, unemployment rate is 4%, 3%, and COVID-19 hit Korea as around 4%. As we expect in 1995, as Korean economy grow, the unemployment rate or long-term unemployed peoples will grow steadily. And you can see the actual data, that the actual data shows that our expectation was right. So we hired with the COVID-19 another 750 staff to challenge with the COVID-19 unemployment issues. Now, I would like to explain about the Public Employment Service of Korea Job Center. In Korea Job Center, we call Employment Welfare Plus Center, because we put not only employment services, but also we work together with local municipal office. We provide the some of the partial social welfare services. So we put not only social protection services, but also employment services as one package, as one such service, plus, and we added some of the credit issues. There is unemployment peoples are not only one issues, there are multiple problems, so that they became long-term employed. Not only the job, but also the health issues, but also credit issues. So we provide all these services at the job center as a one-stop services. So we call Korea Job Center. Before we call Korea Job Center as an employment service center. Now, since 2014, we changed it to the employment welfare plus center. We have, you can see that the job matching team here, and unemployment insurance benefit team here, and job success package team here, and skill development team here. This is very important, okay? Job matching services and unemployment insurance benefit is one package, combined service at one job center. Not only these two services, but also training is also, all the training is authority is job center. Job center decide and inspect all the private training companies. Okay, Korea, almost 80% of Korean training program is contracting out to the private company, private institute. Job center decide which private institute will get the training program, okay? Job center has the authority to order contract and inspection on this training program. So which means training is provided by the centrally managed by the job center, okay? Training, unemployment benefit, and employment services is in one basket, okay? Not only this, but also labor market information is one basket. So there are many components of the job center is combined services as one. This one here, job success package program is individual career counseling program. It is very special program, but people who have long-term unemployed issues, who didn't find a job, we provide a very profound one-on-one career counseling service program we call Job Success Package Program. Okay, this program is go through very manualized, step by step, like a weekly counseling and group counseling. A lot of workshop is combined as one. Also, skill development is combined as one. Training is one, and job matching as a package one. So we call it package services, and the services go more than a year. Okay, so those very intensive services, although one of the part of the public program services, most European country focused on this case management, one-on-one career counseling program, and which is not easily found in Asian countries. So the Asian countries also should develop more likely this case management, individual case management system, not only the job placement, job matching services or job posting services. We need this more intensive career counseling program. Okay, so also the municipal social welfare services participate here, and municipal also special job centers is participate at the job center, and municipal job center, microcredit, all peoples are gathering in the job center and work together. So job center should be a big size. Korean job center is like big like this, okay? Like a 10-story building, one of the most expensive land they are using. This one is one of the, probably some of them is come from Indonesia. When I developed the career counseling program workshop with Asian country, with these two ladies comes from Germany, Bundesagentur für Arbeit. We all visited one of the job center in Seoul, and they were very impressive. We have a very impressive time. Okay, this is the inside of Korea Job Center. If you're coming in here at the main gate, you see the welcome sectors. There people are welcoming, and you can see the corner. These are the corners for unemployment insurance benefit claim. These are the corners for training program. And on the second floor, you can see that individual career counseling program. There's an individual room is there, and the one-on-one Korean counseling program goes on through the job success package program. There are like more than 50 seats like here, so that the job success package program participant comes through second floor, and they go through this one-on-one program. This one is like youth center. There is a third floor. There is a youth unemployment insurance is a bit high to compare normal group. So we open youth career centers like here. So youth people come here and search for their careers. Okay. This is, I want to show the other job centers around the world. So you can have some pictures. You introduce unemployment insurance scam. You deliver this unemployment insurance benefit with employment services at the job center. So you have to aware what is job center like. So I'm trying to show other countries job center too. You get some of the pictures in your mind. This is a job center at the Japan. They're probably taking the benefit claim. You can see a lot of benefit claim or job seeker is waiting, and the one of the job center, I think it's I forgot. It's nearby Shinjuku. It's a Tokyo. At the Tokyo, I visit this job center. You can see also big facilities learning this unemployment services and training, and also these employment services. They need huge building because there are 200, 300 officers, staffs are working. This is a job center at the Peru, and you can see this huge. There are not many. They don't have unemployment insurance benefit. They don't have unemployment. Only 9 employment job center, but you can see they have very nice job center in here. And also this one is a job center China, very nice and huge building. They're using as a job center, bigger even Korea and Japan. China provide if they come here, they claim the unemployment insurance benefit, also employment service. This one is a Guangxi province's job center that I visited. One of the job center is here. You can see Vietnam. Korea case had a lot of cooperation program with Vietnam. So we deliver a lot of consultations for vocational training program, also as well as unemployment insurance program, also public employment services program. You can see the Vietnam job center here, and they are taking the unemployment insurance benefit claim, but you can see like a lot of, still they are using a lot of paperwork because it is not fully, IT is developed. They are using, all paper and pencil and all document taking services. And you can see, you can also compare the height of these barriers is very high to compare. There's no barrier at all, and only side barriers. But in here, Vietnam is a more protective, more conservative ways of services, as you can see even during this interior like that. Let's see some of European countries, how they are doing. This is a Swedish, very open place. They provided job center, and these are people are searching the job placement through the internet or claim the benefit through the internet. You can see also French job center, and this is like this, and Canadian job center looks very nice, and you can see how beautiful and bright. The interior is very nice in all of the country. And you see the German job center. German job center also huge like this. German has one of the most biggest job center in the world. They have 100 staffs at the job center, 100,000 steps at the job center. So this job center is like having like 5, and they provide one-on-one career counseling based services. Now, I would like to focus on digitalization. Why digitalization of the job center is important. I already told that there are many steps at the job center. Korea, this is a record in 2016, I guess, and Korea Welfare Plus Center had a 5,000 step at that time. And Japan Hello Work, this is the name of the job center, have 28,000 steps. And French Blanc have 56,000 steps. And the Bundesagentur Arbeit of Germany has 100,000 steps. You have to keep in mind that all over the world who developed country has a huge number of steps at the job center. Okay, that's the first thing you remember. United Kingdom has 56,000 steps at the job center. United States have 60,000. Dutch, small country, has 15,000 steps. All of these developed countries has huge steps with 100 years service record. Okay, so the public employment service is very important, and you need to put a lot of people to challenge, provide the services to challenge with unemployment. Okay, but in Asia, very small people are working at the job center. You go to Thailand, only like 200 people. Okay, if you go to Vietnam, Vietnam is a good country, around 2,000. But other than that, very small number of country people are working, like Malaysia, only small step is working at the job center. They only created after Malaysian introduced unemployment insurance. Okay. So please keep in mind, this is one of the biggest message I deliver to Indonesian government. You should have thousands of steps at the job center to provide educated service for the unemployed people. Okay, but at the same time, you can see that the number of job placement here of the major country, Korea, with 5,000 steps, we employed 1.5 million people. Japan Hello Work with 28,000 steps, they employed 1.9 million people. Blanc with 56,000, they employed 2.5 million people. Bundesagentur for Arbeit with 100 steps also placed 2.5 million people for that year. Another second biggest lesson is here today. My second biggest message is well-developed job matching website makes tasks very efficient. Well-developed unemployment benefit claim system, IT system, makes a lot of steps, okay, to work in the different services. So it makes a lot of efficient, and you can see the proof, evidence here. Why Korea with only 5,000 steps has cost-effective, step-effective system, because Blanc is also one of the countries who developed better IT system than Bundesagentur für Arbeit, so that with a half number of the step, they provide same number of employment. Okay, so IT system with a job center is very important. Okay, I would like to explain what are the work look like in Korea. We are one of the countries who introduced the first mobile service in the world in a job placement. Okay, 5.5 million copy of application was downloaded and used by the people. And every day, 780,000 people are visiting. Almost 1 million people are using these services every day. Imagine if those people are visiting the job center, you cannot provide service at all. So visitors by country, you can see here, Germany, 200,000, Japan, 406,000, France, 120,000, Netherlands, 180,000. Okay. Also, 18 million people are member out of 25 million Korean workforce. So most of people are using WorkNet. Korea has a 25 million workforce. So out of 25 million workforce, 18 million people are using. And then you can see the job opening, valid job openings. This number is something wrong. It's about 250, 2.5 million job is valid per year, okay? 2.5 million job is recorded for year. It's like 1/3 of all job labor market job openings is registered here. Sorry for this wrong number. 2.5 million people are registered per year. And corporation number is 1.8 million. Company is registered as a member. Also, it connected 154 different agencies. So not only the WorkNet is by the central government, but also a lot of non-public organization or contracted out company of employment services is also using. Okay, municipal government job center is also using this system. So this system is not just central owned system, but many different organizations use the same channel of the system. This is mobile job center, mobile WorkNet. And it was introduced year 2011, and 430,000 people are using. So mobile is the first channel. Before 2011, website was the only channel. Website and offline job center where they were visited. But with the introduction of mobile is the first channel, okay? So mobile is the most busiest channel. So very easy by people using the searching the job openings at home, at any time. And also it has alarm services. So if the new jobs are coming in, it's right away giving the message to the person. So they check it up right away, applied through the mobile. So it makes a lot efficient, a lot easier. A lot more people are using this mobile program. This is one of, this picture shows here is one of the program that we developed, Jobs Around You. This is graphic, and the red dot is you, and the jobs, the map shows the job around you. If you click this green button, then it shows the job information, and you can register right away. And also we developed try to put all this with the COVID-19 developed. We try to put all the unemployment, public employment service into the job center. So we introduced the mobile public employment services, and we developed mobile unemployment insurance claim year 2014. Since I introduced this online and mobile benefit claim system, not only the unemployment insurance, but also the training program, skill development program also provided these mobile services. So with the COVID-19, So there's more limited contact with the people because of the issues of infection or health. So we have a goal that put 100% of all the job center service into the mobile. This is another sample that the Malaysian process of unemployment insurance benefit claimant process. Since I consulted the Malaysian government introduced the UI benefit scam, so when I consulted them, I also consulted how important this IT system to support this unemployment insurance benefit claim. You should put it automatic, online claim. And so this graph shows that the system, the payment system, the Malaysian government is developed through my consultation. When the benefits start, they all coming to the online banking account, and they select the bank, login, and select account and authorize, and then they get automatically, they get payment. Now, AI job matching, one of the highest, there are many techniques and we have in Korea, a lot of things I need IT technology that I can deliver to you, but because that's for the IT engineers, I brought one of the newest program that we have developing, which one is AI job matching system. We introduced year 2020. There's a lot of resume, job applicants record, millions of record. Also, the job opening record, millions of job opening record. We collect all the skill related words from these two database and make a job ontology, and then we figured out which skills are matching most and successfully job match, and then develop AI matching. So if you new applicants comes in, automatically WorkNet system recommend the job to the people. Before that, career counselor recommend the job, or they provide job matching, or the person comes in the WorkNet and they search the system by themselves. But the person like me is not a professional. They just unemployed. They now they coming to the job center, and then they are using this system. They don't know how to use it even, so that the AI maybe not much experienced than a career counselor at the job center, but much smarter than first user, first come unemployed, and they automatically recommend through this system. Now I would like to go over international cooperation that CASE is doing. From the experience of my career, and I saw, and all the what job center can do, and I saw all the evidence that this job center is the only way to challenging with unemployment issues. I tried to cooperate with other countries, and so that with ILO Asian and Pacific Regional Office, I trained the Asian country on unemployment insurance scam. I'm sure that some of you, my Asian, Indonesian friends, joined this training program. We provided since 2006 until today. And we also developed, in the middle, I developed ODA program because most Asian country is not well developed at the physical job center as well as IT background. So that I realized if we have a very good IT system, also we can less dependent on the hard job center, less and you can make more efficient in the system at the whole. So I made an ODA program. I provide IT system, online job center, mobile job center to Vietnam and Cambodia and Mongol, and I want to deliver the Sri Lanka too. And then this is very famous. So IDB, Inter-American Development Bank, asked us to develop the online job matching system consultation. So I deliver Brazil, Chile, Peru, Barbados, this consultation system. And I am working with ADB to develop PS at the Bangladesh and Uzbekistan now. And WAPES, I don't know whether you know it or not, is the only and major association of public employment services. So around the world, there are more than 80 public employment services is a member. And this is the member exchange of knowledge and experience together. So Korea became, joined the WAPES and became vice president since 2012 for the represent Asian and Pacific region. And we hosted the 9th World Congress and also delivered the annual workshop 2010, 2011, 2015, and 2017. Most recently, after Malaysian introduced UI scam, they also became the WAPES members. This is a channel that you can learn a lot on the how to build up job center and how to train your career counselors, how to collect labor data, and how to deliver. This is the association. So you should think about search at the web online WAPES, and you can see at the website there are a lot of information still going on like that. Also, we delivered the PS consultation Peru and Sri Lanka. Thank you very much. I start my lecture, and I would like to have a question and answer session. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
okay.
you. Yeah, okay. Thank you for delivering your presentations. I have quite some questions from participants, and I may start by probably easier questions. To recap, probably your some of your very interesting points. You said there was a significant increase in the number of career counselors at the time of launching EI scheme in Korea back in 1995. And today we have an advanced technology and database, but you presented the number of, a large number of PS staff are still necessary to provide, effective services. So do you think how important it is for the government to increase the number of career counselors in general, and also how the government could train those staff counselors to meet the expectations of job seekers and to improve the rate of placement services? That's first question.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of system that you need. We have a qualification system for career counselors in the open market. So people get training before they enter the career counselor career at the job center. They get training. It's also a training program mostly provided by the government. So also they are major in psychology at the school, university. So there's a whole lot of training system, even before they coming to the job center. Okay. So in Korean cases or United or European cases, in case of Germany, they have a university under the job center. So they train their staff through their training system, and they graduate the job center, graduate the school, and they become a career counselor. Okay, that's a career. That's how you're building up the step. So you need a lot of a social training system to having a good career counselor at the job center, but you cannot make it in one day. Okay, then tomorrow, you don't have a system such like, it takes like years to build up such a system. So for the first step, that if you hire new staff, you can training with some of the colleagues. ILO has a very good training program and the training books, also trainers on these public improvement services. So ILO is one of the good channel that you can talk to. ILO Turin Center has a good training program. Also, Korea also has some of the experience at training the Vietnamese staff and Sri Lanka staff. So training the staff, current staff is also very important. But in case of Korea, during the IMF international monetary crisis hit Korea, we didn't have any system like this today that we have. So we hired just university graduate program. We didn't have even manual. Okay, we start from nothing, but because it was emergency, somehow we needed people. So we hired just young university graduate staff, 3,000 staff. We hired like 1,000 staff today. The next month, another 1,000 staff. And the next month, another staff. And the training like 2 hours. And they put in there in the front office, and they started work like that way, that way. But I think Indonesia government have enough time to benchmark other countries' training system, other countries' this system for developing career counselors and benchmark. Also, you can learn from Korea, Japan, colleagues. Waves is also very good channel, and Waves has at least one time in a year, like a skill competency workshop for career counselors.
Yeah, thank you. It's I think you answered the questions mainly, and there are a couple of questions about basic scheme design of UI. I could probably cover on my side a little bit, and then if I'm wrong, probably Sang-yeon, you could correct me. There was a recent change in Korean system, so I don't have that updated information.
Okay.
But if I understand correctly, in terms of the cost of the scheme, a 6-month contribution in the last 18 months is required to in terms of contribution, and 1.6% should be shared between workers and employers. 0.8% of monthly salary is the contribution rate for the participants to become eligible to receive a UI benefits.
Very correct.
Yeah, and then once they enroll in this, once they claim the benefit, they will be automatically referred to the counseling process and then receive the placement services. And if they are eligible for like a training opportunity, their counselors will advise you, if I understand correctly.
Right.
And
very correct.
Yeah, in terms of duration, we also have a question about the duration of UI benefits. If I understand correctly, between 4 and 9 months at maximum, depending on the age group and years of contributions in Korea.
Very correct.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I answered 2 questions. The other question was, what is the obligation of recipients of UI? Probably this is related to the mandatory monthly meetings and to present active job search activities to become eligible to receive UI benefit next month. If I understand this question correctly,
well,
can you?
I need I need a little bit more exploration on that. It's very flexible in that way. What kind of services provided to the job seekers? Okay, career counselor decide. Also, the job seeker decide. There's two people meet at the first time, and then they decide what kind of program they're going to participate. Okay, if I'm a career counselor, if I think this one is very energetic and very intent to searching a job, so then I don't need to ask him to come to the job center. Okay, do it yourself, and then just send what you did through the mobile. Okay, just send the report, and I give the money. If the person is very sincere and very work-oriented, if I think this person, if let him go and he's gonna do the way he want, that if that is better, then we let him go. But if person is a little more education training, so we put this person into the workshop, like a 2-hour workshop, lecture, and 3-hour workshop like that. But if this person is really hard to find a job, far away from labor market, in the intensive assistant, then we put this person in a 1-week program. So it depends on the person, depends on the individual situation. We put different obligation, like sometimes we put like 4 months training. If we need, I think this person need to skill up, then we put them like a year training program. Okay, so there are variation programs and workshops and career counseling. If the person is really stressed, then they can meet the psychologist too. So, and then they get the benefit if they participate in these programs. So it's not just you claim the money, you're searching a job for 2 or 3, then you get benefit. Not it's all the way. That's a very old way. And at the start point, we thought that is the way that we should go, just like other country. But more and more with the experience, we realized people are different, then our services should be different. Okay, first in individual case management way, individual case way. Thank you.
Thank you. I think it's a very good summary of kind of responsibility for workers and how flexibly the placement services offer the opportunities and the services. And related to that question, so we have another question on the financing of operational staff. How did the government of Korea maintain such a large number of counselors? Probably this is related to the finance questions. Are they funded by tax or the government revenue, or part of the staffing or their operational costs are covered by the contribution rates or any other?
When it started, we didn't have money during the Asian monetary crisis. Okay, all the government budget was strained. Okay, so that we hired the staff with unemployment insurance fund at that time, and then step by step we changed it to government general revenue. Okay, so it's a tax based, and 5,000 is not a big number; it's a small number. Think about Japan, 28,000. United States, 60,000. Germany, 100,000. 5,000 is a small number. You should, to the global standard or European standard, you should remember that. So even Korean is a very small size. In our research in Korea, the educate number of staff in Korean cases is 30,000. Not currently we have 7,000 staff, but it's small. We need to have a 30,000 at least. That's the educate number.
Okay, in terms of the population size in Korea, how many people do you have in your country?
50 million.
50 million.
50 million.
And you have how many staff members on PS roughly currently?
7,000.
7,000. Indonesia has 270 million populations, so we
Yes.
could probably roughly compare how big the country is, and you know how important
Also,
it
they
is.
are the island. Korea is a very small. Indonesia, huge country with many islands, which means you need about more staff. Okay, so that's why the IT is very important for Indonesian government. And it's a small, a lot of island and huge country, and a lot of people, but everybody has a mobile phone. So if you develop the IT system, then you can save a lot of steps. Okay, so just like some of the countries like Mongol, Canada, Namibia, which I deal with consultation, is a huge country, sparsely located with the population, and they have a mobile, and that case is also work with the IT system. It should be very important measure to deliver services.
So I believe, I think you made very important point, probably relevant for Indonesia, because a lot of islands here and probably digital tools can, of course, help access to the platform in that case. And another question related to the service and the costs, is training at the job center, probably this is a training referral to the training course, free of charge for the participants? And if this is probably the meaning of the question, and if I understand also correctly, Korea also collect the contribution, additional contributions from employers to finance other labor market services, including what you mentioned, wage, job retention, subsidy, etc. How does this such a training training course is financed, or is it free of charge for the participants? This is the question.
Also, this is very interesting. You should benchmark. Well, not benchmark, but very interesting country. So you need to look up the Korean skill development. You need to study a lot on Korean training system. We call people's training card system. We changed the training system a lot. The money comes from the unemployment insurance fund. Okay, based start from employers' contribution. But spending is very interesting. We give the people's training card, which it's a cash card. Okay, it's a unexisted cash card with $5,000 in there. So everybody go to the job center, having a counseling with the officer at the job center. So if you want to get training, you should visit the job center first. And I showed the picture that at the first floor, there's a training related services there. You should meet the career counseling first. And then career counseling, talk with the person. Then career counselor decide, okay, you need a training. And if the person wants a training, then we talk a lot. We go like a psychological test, 1 hour career counseling, and then we published the credit card, just like credit card, containing $5,000 in there. And now this person with this credit card can go any training institute. They can go like 1, they can go 2, they can go 3. For the 5 years, they can spend $5,000 in anywhere. But there's also conditions. Okay, training is the government is only assure the training programs. Training basically created by the private institute, and they apply as a training institute and training program, and the job center give them the allow to be a training partner, Now this person can go anywhere. I can go any training center, then register as a trainee. But there's some condition like cooking could be a hobby, right? Cooking courses, after you graduate the course, you become a cook. But sometimes some people, cooking is a hobby. So they don't have intention to get training, but they could participate in this training program. In that cases, they have a different rate of payment. Government give $5,000. Let's say you get $1,000 cooking courses. But cooking courses is, we see that people who participate in cooking course, half of them employed, half of them not employed. It could assume that there's like 30% people who enjoyed cooking courses as a hobby. In that case, you have to pay like $200 your money. Okay, so there's a matching money. Some of welding is different. All the people, 100 people who graduate welding training courses, they employed. Bricklayer, all employed. Okay, IT design, web design, all employed. Then there is no your contribution. You don't pay anything. It's 100% free. But if you go like cooking courses, let's just say what else? There's not many. Art flower course, then you have to pay a little more your money.
Okay, thank you. You have various different courses, and is it then correct that for those who receive unemployment benefits and advised by the counselors to attend the training courses, is that the free of charge? So that kind of courses.
Depends on the courses.
Okay.
Some courses we pay $200. Some pay $300. Most of them are free.
Okay.
Depends on the courses.
And the placement services are free of charge, if I
Yes.
understand. Okay, thank you. Another question. We only have 5 minutes to go, but we have several more questions. Okay, it is very important for the government to encourage enterprises to submit their vacancies to the placement services. How does the government encourage enterprises to share their vacancies? What do you think, and what is the lessons from other countries?
You need a lot of work. At the initial time when we developed the job center, no one send their no enterprise send their job opening data to the job centers. So we put our step on the street, okay, to promote. Please send your job opening to the job center. We put a lot of newspaper, or I also participate in a lot of TV program. We developed the WorkNet. Please send your job opening data. It's free. Okay, there are many good people, unemployed people are waiting for you. I did a lot of radio broadcast. And then year by year we put a lot of advertisement on the web or bus on the street. There is a lot of efforts to accomplish. And then step by step, the number of these job openings from enterprise is increased. Now 1/3 of company enterprise, no, it's automatic. It's a free world. So government cannot kind of give the law or command to send the data. Okay, you have to. There's a lot of promotions, a lot of marketing is required, and a lot of efforts is put it in to get the job opening data.
Yeah, okay. I find it very interesting. You pointed out it's also, such job placement service is also free for enterprises to recruit job seekers, I think that's a really good point and the advantage for employers as well, not only for workers to find a job, but also employers to look for job seekers with the right skills and experiences for free of charge. I think that's a really valid point, and thank you. Another question, Sangyeon.
Oh, it's
And
okay. It's okay.
yeah,
Very good. Very
the
good.
other question we have
I love it.
is um, is there any online counseling services that can be accessed by job seekers? I think what you explained, yeah?
Yes, we have.
Yeah,
We have online counseling system.
yeah, okay.
And also we have a robot counseling. I don't know, Indonesia use line. It's a chatting machine. So we call chatbot, chatting robot. So, young people ask any question through this chatbot system.
Okay, thank you. I think Indonesian people use WhatsApp, by the way, but
Yeah.
it's the same technology, I guess. Okay, another questions. I think this is the second final question so far I have. Um, how does the system work? And sorry, I don't really understand this. Ayunda, probably you could explain these questions.
Which one, Ipe?
How does the system work on giving a counseling? Does it work purely? Okay, I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, how does the placement services probably work or digital service using, sorry, through digital channel, how does the UI claim system and the PS work for counseling services? I think what you explained, thank you. And does it work purely on a digital basis or the mixture of face-to-face services?
It's a mixture currently, but more and more we increase the mobile services. And
Yeah.
with the COVID-19, we totally understand. Well, in the old time, we take, people like to be seeing people. They are accustomed with the, with the tradition. Okay, like Germany, they have 100,000 steps, and they always love to face-to-face services. So that country was very hard to push into online and IT system because there is some tradition. Korea was also same, but Korea is more IT kind of culture the country, so it was much easier to compare with Japan to people put it on the online services. With the COVID-19 advent, we try to put 100% online services.
Okay, related to that question, we also have another question. How does actually a counseling process start? Let's say a claim is made online,
Yeah.
and what will be the next step in terms of job, first
Okay.
counseling? And
Okay.
that's the first questions.
If you are unemployed, you applied as unemployed for the first time. Okay, you report. Then the computer system tells you when you come to attend the job center. First attend to the job center. You don't see the career counselor. If they first attend, there's 100 people coming in at the same day at the job center, and together they go through 2-hour workshop and explain.
So this is a physical
yes,
workshop.
Physical workshop, yes.
Okay.
2-hour workshop. But now you can go by online. Before COVID-19 is a physical workshop. Today, you just watch on the system. But well, in our system, before COVID-19, they get at the job center and they had a workshop for 2 hours learning about what's unemployment benefit claim, how to do that, and what they should keep, report, and what other job center service can provide, what can we help for the person's re-employment, because we have unemployment insurance benefit, not just giving them money, but for the re-employment of this person. So we expand a lot of services at the job center, and then they get the first day to meet the career counselor. So that there's two steps, must face to face. And then first meet the career counselor, then the career counselor at the first meeting, the second attendance, career counselor decide whether this person will come back to the job center or they're gonna do service by themselves.
Okay. I okay, I still have more questions, but
Okay.
these are quite a related question to that
Okay.
point you just made.
Okay.
And so we are now talking about the digital tools and I mean channels. But as you said, the first meeting is conducted, used to be conducted by the face-to-face. And then now, under the COVID-19 crisis or pandemic situations, the Korea shifted to partially to the online platform, probably through, I don't know, Zoom or something like live sessions. Am I correct? A webinar
Yes.
series
It's
style?
like YouTube.
Yeah, okay. And in under such, you know, current situations, then do you think it is still important to have like human presence or human involvement in the counseling process? And do you or
I think a human involvement is very important, very important. However, it's a costly. So you should think about always cost and the benefit. Okay. So the machine or online is not, may not be, you know, good as a person, but it's almost free. And if you don't have much physical asset or resource, you have to decide which way you should focus more. Okay, it's today there is a lot of technologies out there, so there's a lot of options for you. You know, let's say before 1990, before internet, there was no options at all. You only go through people by face. But today you have a lot of skills, a lot of technologies that you can use online, robot, AI, you know, blah, blah, blah. The big data is one of the things that we are using it. So today you can mix it up. Depends on your budget, depends on your research. You can decide which way you're going to focus on. But still, the human is always in the middle, should be centered.
Yeah, recently when we access to the job platform, let's say, we can search and filter my preferences and find the vacancies from, you know, my smartphone or internet, PCs, anywhere. But do you think the counselors still have an important role in, you know, in order to improve the placement rates?
Sure.
How big is their role, and how do you think about their role?
Depends on the people. I told you the individual case. Customer is all different. Clients are all different. Some clients is very good at searching a job. Some clients is already motivated. But some clients, no willingness to life, they want to die, no resource at all. They are ill, they are divorced, they're bankrupt. Then you need a personal care. Okay, very careful and well-trained personal care. Okay, because the peoples are very variety, very different. So we should have a very different kinds of services to deliver. Okay, sometimes you need operation. Sometimes you need just medicine. Okay, sometimes they can do it by themselves. Sometimes they need a small coaching. Sometimes they need to go very profound, you know, time-taking, deep counseling. Depends on the sickness or the issues of the person having there.
Yeah, thank you. I think you answered very important points, and the importance of sort of a human presence in terms of counseling services, which cannot be replaced by self-searching, self-job searching on the internet, because everyone has a different level of probably skill sets and the different kinds of skill sets, and probably different motivations also to find a job, to return to the job market as soon as possible. And probably I have the very final questions now. This brings to us to the end of this lecture today. What is the key success of PS and EI in Korea, probably through the use of digital technology and the lessons from Korea? Probably you can also mention other country cases too, but this is a very final question to close.
Yeah. Korea is still short of step numbers to compare with the European, very short history, and the career counseling skill is not fully developed. However, this digitalization IT system is covering up. So the digitalization is one of the core lessons that you can get in Korea and many European countries also, like even France and Netherlands, Dutch is benchmarking Korean WorkNet and Korean insurance claim system and mobile system because of this. And we represent always IT. When we have a WAVES conference, we bring always our IT experience as a cases. So we deliver already, give a lot of countries to have ideas to, IT is one of the alternative, very important tools to deliver better services for the unemployed.
Okay, thank you very much, Sang-yeon, again today. I think we had a very fruitful kind of discussions and the lessons learned from other countries in Asia mostly, particularly from Korea, and you also introduced the Japan cases and the German cases and other developed countries cases. And I also found it's quite interesting to have a kind of a dual important role of traditional approach and the digital combinations to deliver placement services and UI benefits. And we had finally 105 participants at the end. And thank you very much for all participants. And our great interpreter, Dinda, thank you very much. So as an ILO, our team, we will continue to organize this kind of lecture series to benefit experts' points of view and lessons in the coming future. So we will send the invitations to all of you. Thank you, participants, and thank you, Sang-yeon, again.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.